Boomhauer69 here. I'm just doing a little walking and talking video here. And I thought I'd just do another one of these little walking talking videos. I haven't done one of these in a while. Thought it'd be interesting. Well, as some of you already know, if you have watched my videos before in the past, I have another job besides doing YouTube. So for those of you who think a small YouTube channel like me makes enough money where I can live off YouTube, no, you don't make that kind of money. And I want to warn you people who out there starting a YouTube channel think, oh, you make all kinds of money. Not necessarily. Not from what I understand of YouTube and building a YouTube channel and stuff. A lot of YouTubers and content creators are starting out. You gotta have a full-time job. You gotta have another job besides YouTube to really make any money. Once you start, from my understanding of YouTube, once you start at get a certain point where you got a bunch of views and subscribers, then you can make money. Like, I think it's around, I want to say around 100,000 subscribers. You can then, if you got another job that you don't like and you just want to do YouTube full time, you can make YouTube your full-time job and not have to worry about another job. But the thing is, you have to wait until you get to a certain point. It's just basically my understanding of YouTube and stuff. And people, and to all you people out there that think, oh, you gotta have X amount of dollars to really build up a YouTube channel and to do YouTube and all that stuff, you don't gotta, Like the product review videos I've been doing in the past, like even the food review stuff, those were just little to no money. They were just products that I have in the past enjoyed and thought, well, I'll share my thoughts about those products and stuff. You don't necessarily need a whole lot of money to start out on YouTube and stuff. All you gotta do is basically have an idea. That's what I say. Have an idea of what you want to do on YouTube, and then figure out how to do it from there with a little bit of money. Like, for example, well, this one travel video I have in mind, that's locally I plan on doing. I was going to do it recently, but I had some unexpected emergency car issues come up where I had to take my car to a mechanic's garage and get it looked at, so took some of my funding away, but that's just the way life goes sometimes. But I'm gonna, put your priorities in straight. So little by little, I am gonna try to build this channel up, and yes, with little to no money, you can build a YouTube channel. You just gotta have a really good idea of videos you want to do. Like, have a really good idea. One of the struggles I struggle with a lot is thinking how to make the perfect YouTube video. Instead, when really what I should be doing is just make the videos. Not worry about if it's the perfect one. Oh, how do I make the perfect YouTube video? How do I gain all these subscribers? That runs through my mind all the time. That's one of those things that lives in my head, rent-free, 24/7, 365 days a year. Basically, Because I'm one of those people, I just don't want to sit there and make crap videos. And so, but then I get to thinking about it, I feel like it's good to do these videos and talk about what's going on in the show, because I start thinking, well, maybe this will encourage people. Somebody will shut up upon this video, it'll give them encouragement and say, hey, this guy's struggling, he's just like me, struggling with whatever, and hopefully somebody out there finds them encouraging and helpful and stuff. And that's the problem with me, is I ramble on and on and on. That's runs in my family and things, so that's why I like doing these videos at times, Granted, out there, people probably see these videos and probably think I'm what, this guy mentally challenged or mentally delusional or something. You know, so wouldn't surprise me, though, if people think that, which I don't care, but yeah, it's like, oh, I lost my train of thought here, but, you know, that's one of the things that runs through my mind a lot, is the whole doing YouTube and stuff, trying to make video, which I'm going to tell you people out right now, if you're somebody out there, you want to post a video to YouTube, but you're like me, you're hesitant, and thinking, gosh, should I post that? Should I make that video? I said, just go for it, try your best, and see what happens. Don't be afraid, don't hold back, because if you hold back, you're not going to know if that was a success or a fail or whatever. So just, to me, I encourage you to simply move forward. Now, the thing is with a lot of these videos, I talk a lot about YouTube, because that's my main focus on my mind. That's the main thing, trying to build up the successfulness and stuff. And one of the things I do think about is how I'm going to pull these travel videos off with the funding I have coming in and stuff, and product reviews. You know, I'm always trying to figure out, okay, what would be certain products would be good to review and stuff, things I like, and so I got some product review ideas coming in. You know, I got some ideas for stuff. They'll take a while before I can purchase them and review them, because I had some unexpected bills to pay and stuff. You know, got a car that's got to get some work done, so working on that. And that's why I hold off on the travel video I was going to do, because my car is acting up and gotta take it to a mechanic's garage and get it fixed, which I got that all set up, where it's just the mechanic's gotta look at it and tell me what's wrong with it, and then go from there. So yeah, so I'm trying to build a channel little by little, and yes, you can build a YouTube channel with little to no money. It ain't hard. You just gotta have a really good idea of the types of videos you want to do and stuff, and once you figure that all out, you can then go from there, and eventually, it'll take a while, but eventually you'll find what works, what don't, and you can move on from there, you know, and eventually you will be successful if you put a lot of time and effort into it. One thing about being successful in life and stuff, and wanting to do something with your life, you really got to put a lot of time and effort into it. You can't just sit around and be a bum and think about it. You got to get out there and do it and stuff, because if you don't, you're not going to get anywhere. Yeah, I'm walking on a sidewalk near a busy road. This road in my town here is actually the main drag. It's the main road heading up to the big state road there. So, yeah, I'm just walking the local nature trail and stuff, so yeah. But yeah, if you want to be successful, you gotta keep putting all kinds of time and efforts into it, and if you feel like you don't have the time and efforts to do something, then you should ask yourself the question, do I really want to do it? Because if you feel like, oh, I ain't got time, I ain't got this and that or the other, then you have to ask yourself, do you really want to do it? Do you really want to be successful in whatever it is you're trying to do? So you have to, because if you really want to do something, you're going to make time for it, you're going to put efforts into it and stuff, so yeah. And again, I'm just kind of rambling on here and hoping to kind of, as a way to help encourage other people and stuff to be successful, you know. Like I said before, on my channel, I want to do YouTube and also be able to help other people out, and I figure this would be a good way, you know, do some talk videos and share my thoughts and stuff. So yeah, so that's basically it. You know, if you want to become something or successful in something, you gotta put time and effort into it. And if you don't want to put the time and effort into it, and you keep making up excuses, then you gotta ask yourself the question, do you really want to do it, or is it just a simple no, you don't want to, and you really don't want it? So you have to think about that stuff and so forth, so on. But all in all, my life has been going good. It's going great, and I don't have too many complaints, The only thing that kind of made me a little pissed is it's just this car issue that came up, kind of like, whoa, I'm just kind of disgruntled that the car decided to act up and stuff, but common, it's an old car that I drive, so it's got the typical issues that old cars have, It's, I imagine whatever's wrong with it was probably some part that was probably on the car back when the car was first built at the factory new, because the car I drive is a 2008, so pretty old car is going to have some issues, and it just needs all the stuff fixed and repaired on it, and then it'll be good as new. That's the way you go in life, but yeah. So yeah, just kind of walking the nature trail here, seeing what's new and stuff. And as far as the job I do, I have another job I do besides YouTube. So what I do what I do besides YouTube is I work another job, and that job's been going good for me. I got to meet a lot of nice people that I get to work with. That's always good, because that was one of the things, is when you start a new job, new environment, kind of understand what kind of people you work around and figure all that stuff out. And I discovered that everybody I so far met and worked around, everybody's nice and they have no complaints and all good people and stuff. And the job's pretty simple. It's a simple job. It's just, the only negative thing is you gotta work outdoors in the cold weather, but you just bundle up nice and warm for that. And in these cold winters, you just gotta work in the wintertime. But if you bundle up nice and warm, you'll get through it. That's about, I'd say, the only negative thing about the job I do is just simply working the weather, because you gotta work out in the snow and the rain and sometimes and stuff, and even in the wind. But that's not actually too much about me. I don't mind the outdoors and the weather, it's just, that's the only, I'd say that's about the only negative of the job is, and that negativity is not like a big, huge, oh my gosh, I gotta work out in the weather, it's one of those, gotta work out in the weather, it don't bother me. I actually like being outdoors and in the weather and stuff, To me, working out in the cold and the rain and stuff just trains your body to handle more things, and stuff. So that's the way I look at it. So if ever in the future I get the money and buy a big piece of land and big old wooded land and want to go out in the woods in the middle of winter and build log cabins and survival shelters, the job I do right now is perfect for that. Gets my body more used to the weather, You just gotta put layers and bundle up real nice and warm. Because I think that's a problem with the job I got. I think a lot of people don't realize that they really gotta work out in the cold weather until they start actually doing the job, and then they're like, oh crap, I gotta work out in the cold weather. And a lot of things is I don't think people prepare much for the job. Like, they don't prepare to wear the proper clothing and stuff. Because when you're simply doing the job I do, you gotta dress warm and put on proper layers of clothing. And I think that's what a lot of people forget to do, is they just don't know how to properly dress, and then when they get out there and they're not properly dressed for the job, then they hate it, and then they just want to quit the first day. And that's one of the things on my job you can't do. You gotta dress warm, you gotta dress nice, and for the weather conditions, you gotta dress proper for the weather conditions. Because if you don't, you're gonna hate the job, and it's gonna make the job a lot harder, where you're just gonna quit the first day. And I think that's what's happened in the past with a lot of people, is they don't use that common sense. They don't use their sense or the brains to think about it. You're going to be working outside a lot. and stuff, and so you gotta be able to when you're working outside, you gotta prepare for the weather and stuff. And I think that's what's the biggest issue with a lot of people is they don't dress properly, and then they realize. Then another thing, if they do dress properly, they do realize how long they gotta be outside for and stuff. And then like, oh, I can't, and then they up and quit. You know, a lot of people they apply for a job and they don't realize the conditions of the job, and they don't think about it. You know, so. That's, I think, a lot of issues why at my job a lot of people kind of up and quit and don't last very long. I noticed, but all in all, the people I work around is great. You know, they're glad to have me because I'm one of those people. I'm willing to work in those kind of conditions outdoors. You know, in the cold weather, whatever I can hack it. I just tell myself, dress warm. Think about it. Think about what you need to stay warm and dress proper, you know, what kind of clothing and stuff to wear and stuff, and it's real easy. But yeah, so my second job, I consider YouTube my main job, and then this job I consider it the second job. But it's been going good. I've been having fun. It's great, you know. So yeah, and again, talking about the whole YouTube thing, I do a lot of talk videos about that because that runs through my mind. Because you know, I'm always thinking about it, always thinking about, okay, how to make that good video, how to do all that stuff, you know. Because I just don't want to make a boring channel. I want to try to do good. But the thing is, too, if you don't put videos out there, like if you got a video idea, don't be afraid to post that idea. Don't be afraid to upload that video and try it and see what happens. That's what I've been doing a lot lately, is sometimes just try and see what happens and kind of go from there, you know. It's a learning process, and I'm shocked at some of the videos I have uploaded. I just were curious to see what would happen. Like some of those food review videos were just, I'll see if anybody's interested in seeing if a guy gives his thoughts on taste testing food, and I was shocked that there were some people out there that thought those were interesting. Will I do more of those kind of videos? Maybe. I don't know. My main focus is to do more part reviews like that solar kit video. I did do more of that sort of thing, like review some generators and gas generators and motorbikes and quads and different things and other stuff I'd like to review and do travel videos. Travel videos is a big thing I want to do on this channel and stuff, so that's what I'm going to try to work on and stuff and everything, and try to make it a reality, I guess you can call it, and stuff. But yeah, this job I took up is just mainly a thing to help me try to build this channel up and try to have some money coming in so I can build this YouTube channel up and make it a successful thing in my life, and then have it, and then figure out how I can use it to help me do other things in life. Like I want to build a vintage car and do some tiny house builds and stuff. So, because I talked about that in previous videos about building I call it a horseless carriage, because that's what they used to refer to automobiles back in the late 1800s and the 1900s and stuff. Is people used to simply talk about, they used to call them horseless carriage automobiles, you know, and stuff, and try to build something from scratch and stuff there, you know. The thing with that is trying to basically find a company in my area that would help me create and design this idea, and then figure out how much would it cost to build and everything, you know. I'm going to, as time goes on, I haven't as of lately, as time goes on, I am going to, little by little, go on Amazon and some online websites and buy little parts and stuff here and there that I think I need, and basically talk about what I bought and why I think it would be useful towards that idea and stuff, and then maybe later on with the parts that I buy and the things I get and stuff, I will hopefully maybe somebody will come along and see that lives in my area, sees this and say, hey, I can help you put the puzzle pieces together and build the idea, and or maybe some well-to-do person will simply come along and say, hey, I like your idea. How would you like me to help you make it a reality? And basically on that stuff, I kind of consider myself a little bit kind of like Steve Jobs was, because Steve Jobs was one of those people who he was a rich guy. He had these ideas, and then he had people help turn those ideas into a reality, and then from there he became well-to-do, and stuff. And that's the way I always looked at, Steve Jobs. He was one of those guys. He had the idea in his head, and he had the people around him to help him make it a reality. That's the way I always feel of it. When it comes to people like Steve Jobs, and same thing with Bill Gates and Microsoft Computers, and even Elon Musk and Tesla and all that stuff. And a lot of those people had those ideas, yes, and they somehow managed to find people or whatever to help them make that idea a reality. And that's what I would have to do. I would have to try to find a business, a company, or somebody out there to say, hey, this is my idea, how can we make it a reality and stuff, and eventually I should be able to do that and stuff. And again, for those of you who don't know, this is just a little ramble on talk video, and maybe out there somebody might come along, some of the things I talk about in this video, they might find it encouraging and ramble on, but yeah. I do plan on trying to figure out how to do more talk videos of that idea, like building the vintage car and stuff. To be honest with you, I just don't know how to describe and really talk about it good, where people will view me differently versus than just some guy talking about idea and thinking, oh, this bozo is not going to do that. He's a retard, moron, and where people would actually take me more serious on doing these ideas and stuff. It's like, and not just be some guy talking about where people would say, hey, this guy's being for real, this is something he wants to do, and really describe what I want to do in detail, talk about in good detail where it would catch those kind of people that would know how to make it a reality, catch people's ideas, say, hey, I'd like to get in touch with this guy and talk to him more, because like what Steve Jobs and these people did, they create an idea and they manage a way to get it out there, and then someone buys into the idea and then helps them make it a reality. And that's what I'm trying to do with this stuff, Even with YouTube, it's in my life wanting to grow this YouTube channel, it's hard for me to even explain to people I personally know in real world that, hey, this is what I want to do, and I want to make this YouTube thing a reality. And it's hard in my life to convince friends, family members, and people to know that this YouTube thing is no joke. This is the reality. This is what I want to do. And that's another thing that stresses me out a lot. Oh, I get mad. Because I sat there, sometimes I get those vibes that, people think I'm just doing this YouTube thing as some silly little joke and not being serious about it or whatever. When in reality, I'm doing my hardest to try to make this thing a successful reality. Because in the past, I never really, in a way, never got to really do what I wanted to do. Because it was either simple fact that I just simply didn't know how to get into it, like how to get it going, how to get it started, how to make it a reality, or like, for example, I wanted to, when I got out of high school, I actually wanted to join the Army and become a U.S. Army brat, but my father was alive at the time, and when he was alive and I told him about that, he just said, oh, you just end up getting killed, because he was afraid. I think his issue, if I went in the Army and he was afraid that I would end up getting killed or whatever. Or his thoughts probably was, oh, this boy don't realize what he's going to get himself into if he signed up. And so he basically told me no on doing that. And so I respected his wishes and I didn't. And then the more I thought about that idea, I got thinking, well, since I'm hard of hearing, there's a possibility that if I tried to sign up, they wouldn't accept me anyways because of a hearing problem I had ever since I was born, basically. It wasn't until about when I was 8 or 9 years old. I was in the 3rd grade at the time when I was diagnosed with the hearing problem, because for a while there, when I was in kindergarten, the teacher noticed that I was a lot more louder than most other students, would always have to tell me, hey, you need to lower your voice, you're too loud. And finally it took a teacher, I think her name was Mrs. Williams, I think was the teacher, the kindergarten teacher at the time, to figure out that, hey, there's something going on with this boy, which was me. Figure out, hey, there's something going on with this boomhauer or kid, and we need to figure out what's up. And so that's what happened there. And then it wasn't until about 3rd grade they started getting me in, hey, get his hearing checked. And my parents went to a ear throat specialist doctor in Grand Rapids, which his name was Dr. Barrick, which I think he's now retired, but he was a doctor that a family member of mine went to and recommended to my parents, and then my parents took me to this place and got my hearing, and he checked my hearing out and did hearing tests and stuff, where they have you repeat words at different volumes, Basically, he talked into a microphone and would adjust the volume to certain settings, and he knew what was considered normal hearing and stuff, and it can get hard. And so that's how it became about for me there developing hearing problems. Because at first, it's like the school's trying to figure out what was going on with me. Like, hey, is this kid like a mentally challenged, ill person? What? And then they figured it out, after the doctors and all that stuff. Figured out that, hey, he just got a hearing problem, that's all. Then they got me hearing aids, and that's how that came about. And then I had hearing aids for a really long time, and then, like every kid does, they lose stuff, and that's the thing. As a kid, I was losing hearing aids that cost over $1,000. Had I known what I know now, I would have never done that to begin with. But because I think at one time my dad had asked the hearing aid clinic lady, because like, how much is one of those hearing aids just for one? And they're like, oh, $1,700 just for one hearing aid. And my dad's like, so you're giving me my kid $1,000 item, and the lady explained why they're so expensive. My dad said, I understand, but wow. And I don't know how many times my dad had to get new hearing aids. My dad walked me out in that parking lot and goes, all right, listen up here, you little shit. He said, don't you lose them, because he goes, I pay good money for those and stuff. Even though at the time when I was a kid, I was getting Medicaid. I was one of those kids, poor family, low income, and so I got, I was a welfare kid, basically. And because I was too young to work, and my parents, they gave my parents for me, and anyway, some government, like what they call Medicaid aid, and so my dad basically, and of course my dad saying, I pay good money for those, and so did all the other taxpayers, and my dad he gave me a little lecture about try not to lose them, because, he told me that, he goes, basically, he never said, all right, listen here, you little shit. And my dad would just say, now don't lose those, us taxpayers, because my dad was a working man. He worked a factory job for over 37 years, and he just always said to me, now don't lose them, because us taxpayers, we pay good money for them. He goes, even though I didn't directly, when he explained how it all worked, that if it wasn't for the taxpayers, I would have probably never been able to get those and stuff, but, yeah. So, oh no, what happened there was it's just simply what I'm supposed to be even now, right now, as we speak, we're hearing aids, but it's just one of those things. I never, as a kid, we'd go frequently, and then the last set of hearing aids I had, I lost them, and then after that, I never went back to the clinics and stuff. Oh, in the future, I do plan on, when I got time and the funds to do so, I plan on going back to that clinic. I think it's still in business, the hearing aid clinic I went to, and because there's a big city over here towards the west of me that had a hearing aid clinic called Grand Rapids is the city I go to the hearing aid clinic, and I plan on in the future sometime going back to them and getting some hearing aids again and stuff. It's just time and money and stuff, so I'll have to work on that in the near future and stuff. That would definitely help me out and stuff, so yeah. But now I forgot where I was thinking, because I was mentioning about the thing, but oh no, that's basically how I discovered getting a hearing problem and stuff, and now I forgot what I was talking about before. but yeah, that's one thing I talk about and I encourage, and so if you and stuff, but yeah, my goal is to try to build up this channel and put out good videos for y'all to enjoy and stuff. I know there's quite a few people out there that comment below and say, hey, I like your videos, I enjoy them, I had fun with them and everything and stuff. So, I thank you all who like watching my videos and sharing them and stuff. It truly helps me out and stuff, because before YouTube or anything and stuff, and like, oh yeah, I was talking about joining the army and stuff, but that's the biggest reason why I kind of, after my father said no on joining the army, I just simply said, all right, then I'm not going to do it. And then later on, the more I thought about, well, I got a hearing problem, so they probably would just turn me down anyway, so I never bothered with that, really, when the more I thought about it. And there was also other things I wanted to do in life and try, but it's just simply, I just simply didn't know where do I go to figure out how to get into this or do that. So I decided then I would think about these other ideas, like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, and then I tried to figure out how to get into it, and I just couldn't figure out, and so that was a lot of reasons why in the past I was never really successful and stuff, and I just didn't want to work crummy job after crummy job and feel like I'm not getting nowhere or anything and stuff, because that's was always an issue, is that feeling and stuff, and with this job that I took up now, I don't have that feeling. The only thing that some people probably see me working and stuff, and they like, boy, he looks like he's got an ugly scowl on his face or something. Sometimes they're like, hey, something looks like something's bothering him. It's the simple fact, because I'm always thinking about YouTube and how to build up the channel and stuff, and that's what really gets to me, is like how to make the perfect video and all that stuff. So it's just, if you see me looking like I got an angry face or something, it's because I'm just simply focusing on how to make a good YouTube video and stuff. So all you people out there that work around me, know who I am, watching my YouTube video right now, that's probably why, because I'm just so focused on this YouTube thing and stuff, and trying to figure out how to make it successful, and how to become successful in my life and stuff. So Because before I never felt successful in anything, and so one day I just happened to think about it. Hey, I'll try to do comedy on YouTube, which I felt like that didn't really bomb, so I stopped doing that. And then I decided, well, let's try to do some other content as well. And I really like, there's a lot of stuff out there that I really like and wish I could buy and try out and see what they're about and stuff. And then I got thinking, well, since I like these certain things, why don't make videos about them, like the product reviews? So simply the product review videos are just products that I think were interesting and thought, oh, I'll purchase this and see what it's about and make a video about it and give my thoughts on why I do product reviews. And there'll be more of those to come later on as I get more money and stuff. But yeah, but that's why, and that's one of the things that makes it hard for me at times, is thinking about, do people fully understand that when it comes to building this YouTube channel and creating this for me and stuff, do people really, in my personal life, really understand that this is no joke? This is not just something me being stupid, lazy, and trying to, hey, look at me, and like, do people take me serious? That's the vibe sometimes I feel like. Do people actually take me serious, or what are they really thinking, Because personally, I don't know what people are thinking. I can't read minds and stuff, and I'm one of those people. I'm always kind of, a lot of times, more thinking about the negative side, like, oh, these people don't take me serious, and then that gets me kind of wound up, kind of angry sometimes, where I'm like, oh, these people are not taking me serious. I wish they would and stuff, and so all my friends, family members, people out there, if you're wondering, like, is this me trying to do this YouTube thing as some scientific joke, or I'm just wasting time being lazy? No, I'm actually trying to make this successful and trying to make this a successful thing in my life, because there's a lot of ideas I want to build, like the vintage car idea and tiny house build, and I thought one day, thinking about some of these ideas, it would be best to try to do YouTube and see if YouTube in a way couldn't help me somehow, make these ideas a reality. The hardest part for me is trying to talk about them and where it makes sense, and people don't sit there and think I'm just some delusional retard or something, where people think, oh, he's just some retard that don't know what he's talking about, blah, 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 It's hard for me to explain myself and really get details, say, here's my idea, here's what I want to do, where people would make it a reality and stuff. And like, first of all, one of the things is I don't know how to work like drafting programs. Like, I know there's, like, my brother, he's a computer drafter. He works for a building company drafting up small barns and like storage sheds and pole barns and stuff. So he knows how to do like carpentry type drafting. But like with the car idea, he wouldn't be able to help me on designing a car idea, because he's not a mechanical engineer. He's not a mechanical drafter type person. He's a construction drafter guy that draws out. So like the tiny house building stuff, if he had the free time to do so, he's a busy person, he could help me on designing basically a little like shed type structure. But when it comes to like adding like things to that structure, like adding stoves and refrigerators and like, drawing up plans where it's got detailed plans for like a tiny house build, it's going to be a lot more trickier and stuff, I don't know how to really explain myself there about how it is, because personally, my brother, all he knows how to do is draft up storage sheds, pole barns, and regular full-size house. Like, he's never actually tried to draft up tiny houses, he doesn't know a whole lot about like actual tiny houses and stuff and certain things on that part. He's just a drafter that knows how to build, would know how to do like a storage shed build, but when it's like actually in the program drawing up like detailed plans of like some programs have like little beds and where you can, this program you can add like furniture and different things inside so you can get kind of like a 3D view of what it would be. He wouldn't know how to do certain things I don't believe, but, and he's a busy person so he can't. I personally don't know what all he knows about drafting. I know he does drafting and that's about it. I don't know what his level of drafting skills is in the construction industry because I don't pay too much attention to what all he knows. But anyways, yeah. But as far as like doing like me personally blueprints for tiny houses or blueprints for like a microcard idea, I don't know how to work those programs and stuff and for me to learn that stuff it would take so long and I would have to learn other things to go along with the program and it would be hard. So basically my goal would be is to simply save up the money someday and then find the right people to say, hey, here's the money, this is what I got in mind, and work with like somebody that knows that stuff and find those people. That's the thing I try to do when I'm off camera, even though I don't have the money to make it a reality or hire the people to help me make these things a reality, is I try my hardest to find those kind of people that do that sort of stuff, and as of right now, I'm big time failing on that, trying to find those people that can help me make these a reality, like find the drafters and the companies that would like, yeah, we like your idea and how much you got and that. Basically I just call it investors a lot, that's the term I use, but trying to find companies in my area that would draw up plans for me of like a car body or something. I don't know those places and stuff, and that's pretty tricky for me and stuff. And so yeah, so that's the struggles I have, and again, it's just talking about my ideas and trying to be very detailed and stuff. To me, it's a little hard for me to try to really good talk about them and stuff and make that stuff a reality. And so yeah, that's why I kind of don't make too many videos about those, because it's really hard for me to describe what per se I want to do there, where people would understand that, hey, this guy's being for real, he's not some bozo shooting an idea out there. So yeah, but I'm gonna try my hardest on making those ideas a reality and building up this YouTube channel successful thing. I just want, again, to all those people that know me and personally know me and stuff, I am going to try my hardest to make this a reality. Like, this thing is no joke. It's not just me goofing off or trying to be a bum or something. It's me trying to actually make something of myself, and I feel like YouTube is the way to go and stuff. And for me, in order to become successful, I feel like YouTube is what my calling is, I guess you would call it. And so I'm gonna, like I say, come hell or high water, I'm gonna try to make this thing the best I can a reality, make it a positive thing in my life, and hopefully make it something where I can, down the line, like I said before, help out other people along the way too and stuff. And even just doing these talk videos, I feel like in some way or another it will help. It might help encourage other people to try to do something with their life, because life is too short just to sit on a couch eating Cheetos and watching videos, watching all kinds of internet videos. I chuckle because I'm trying to gain views, and it's like, but you gotta get up, you gotta do something with your life and try to do something that's going to be positive and encourage you, because, you know, the thing with a lot of people who don't work and stuff is, it's not because people are lazy, it's because people haven't really sat down and decided what they want to do with their life. And I want to encourage you people to do something with your life before it's too late, before you get old, before you can't do anything, you know. Really think about what it is you truly want to do, and try to make it a reality. And that's what I'm trying to do right now. My goal is I want to build a successful YouTube channel, and so that's my goal right now. And then later on down the line, I want to do other things like the tiny house build, the micro car idea, horseless carriage idea, and make those a reality as well. But right now, my main focus is try to get this YouTube channel and make it something successful in my life and stuff, where I can look back years later and say, wow, I actually did that, and be amazed at what I conquered and did. You know, I know this video is over an hour long now, 46 minutes. So I'll end it here because I walked back to my house already. So if you like this sort of content, hit that red subscribe button down below, because you'll definitely help out Boomhauer69 and making this a reality. Comment below on your thoughts. Do you think this was a good video? Bad video? Do you think I should have split this video up into 2 segments instead of just one whole video? Whatever, you know. Comment below your thoughts if you thought it was good, bad, whatever, yada yada. I don't mind. I like all sort of criticism, whether it's positive, negative, what, you know. And if you do have something negative to say to me in the comment section, please elaborate and be detailed about why you're saying that and why and stuff. That would definitely help out Boomhauer69 in making my life positive and everything. So on. Just want to say thank you all for watching my videos. Hope you all have a good day, and again, don't forget to hit that red subscribe button down below. Share this video with everyone you know. Definitely help me out in making this video, making this YouTube thing a reality and a positive thing. So comment, share this video with everyone you know. Give it a thumbs up, you know, show YouTube that you want to see more Boomhauer69. And hope you all have a good day, and thank you for watching.